If you are new to the channel, then subscribe the channel and press the bell icon for further notification. Okay student, welcome you all to this new lecture in advanced level where we are solving previous year IIT JEE questions on functions. So today we will be solving from question number 4d to 6a. Okay, then let's try to solve these questions. Now suppose E is equal to this, F is equal to the number of onto functions from E to F. So how many onto functions is there? Because there are two, so it is easy, because it becomes easy because you see the into mapping. How many into mappings are there? One is that all are connected to 1. This is one into mapping, because if for into something should be left. One is this one, another one is this one, all are connected to 2. So only 2 into mapping is there. So from total mapping you minus into, you will get onto, because onto plus into will give you total mapping. So total how many mapping you have? For this one you have 2 options, for this one 2, for this one 2. I have shown you. So it will be 2 into 2 into 2, so it is 2 to the power 4. N to the power p or m to the power n. I have written one formula. So this is 16 way mapping is possible, out of which into mapping is 2. One is all connected with one, one is 2. You remove these 2, you will get onto mapping. So this is very specific, but the number if goes from more than 1, suppose here one more example, this is known as one more method, inclusion exclusion method, which is very good method. You will learn it in permutation combination. You see this one where there are more than 2 elements A, B, C. So the idea is first you include, then you exclude. So minus plus it automatically carries on. First you write all the mappings, okay. Then you remove the mapping considering that one is left. Suppose this is left. Into mapping. So if you remove means everything is connected with A, B, not with C. So how it is possible? So which one you should remove? You can remove any one of these 3. So this is one removing, one not connected. Into mapping where one is not connected. So it is 3C1, then all the mappings which is possible. So all mappings which is possible means to 2 into, that means there are possibilities also that you have skipped 2 also, because all can connected to A also, because if you remove C and if you see all possible mapping, then all can connect with A also. So that means you are missing 2 is not connected. So something you can see with 1, then you are not, you are supposed to write it for only 1 not connected, but you are writing for 2 connected also. So that's why this one will be added. So you can see this one. It is in now. If you remove 2, you remove 2. 2 is not connected, so everything is connected to 1. So it is 1 to the 4. So you removed. You remember this one. This is known as inclusion exclusion. First you take all 3 connected. Then you take 1 is not connected. Then you take 2 is not connected. You carry on like this and write it plus minus format. So you will also get the answer. Okay, but here it is different question I have taken. So you will learn all these things in permutation combination. This is also the one questions for permutation combination, in which 5 balls of different colors can be distributed among 3 persons. You can think these are 5 balls distributed into 3 persons, so that each one should get at least 1. At least 1 means no one should left alone. That means you are writing onto function. Okay, in 4b this is given. Then for what value of alpha f of x is equal to x. So you write f of x. You have already seen what is the purpose of f. It multiplies alpha with that input, then input plus 1. So alpha into input by input plus 1. This is the format. That should be x. If x is not, if x is 0, then it becomes automatically 0. So it is not possible. So you can remove x from both sides. You can cancel out x plus 1 from numerator denominator, because x is not equal to minus 1, or x plus 1 is not equal to 0. So if you do, ultimately you will get these things. Now if you take it this side and if you write in terms of x, suppose a linear function of x it is, so x into alpha plus 1, this one. So now this should be true for all value of x, because they are writing this should be x. For some value, what value of alpha they do, I don't know, but whatever value, it should be true for all x. It should not be true for some of x, okay, because it is identity function. It should be true for all x. For some value of alpha, that I don't know, but it should be true for whatever x you put, it should be true for that particular alpha. So if you say it becomes an identity for all values, I have explained this one I think in coordinate geometry, in intermediate or advanced level theory, you check this one. So if this becomes identity, this is true for all value of x, then the only thing possible is both should be equal to 0, a and b both should be, then only it will be true for, otherwise how come it will be true for all value? If you put 2, then it is 2a plus b. If you put 3, then it is 3a plus b. So if a and b you are not taking 0 and some other value, then it will change. For some other value, if you multiply with x, it will change. Suppose if you take a, so if you multiply with 2 into 2 it will be 4, if you multiply 2 into 3 it will be 6, but it should be same for if you multiply with every x. That the only thing is possible that it is 0. Similarly here, so a, b both should be equal to 0 for all values of x. So if both should be equal to 0 means this is equal to 0, this is equal to 0. So you have to remember this one very carefully. And why this is to b should be 0, if a is 0 then this is automatic, so b should be automatically equal to 0. So alpha equal to minus 1 and alpha equal to plus 1, so common between these two, these and these both should be happening, so alpha should be minus 1, that's why this is the answer. Now if you come to 5a, suppose fx equal to this square for x is greater than equal to minus 1. If g of x is the function whose graph is the reflection of the graph fx with respect to fx. Now I have explained to you what is the reflection. Reflection is nothing but the inverse. So they are asking you to take inverse only. So you take inverse of this function, and this will be, because it is already, you can see the negative portion they have removed. When it is negative, so when x is less than minus 1 inside. X plus 1 is positive when x is greater than minus 1. Because there is a square, there is a chance from 1 you can land it in 2 points, because if it's a square, if it is x square, so minus 5 square is also 25, minus 5 square is also 25, so there is a chance you can land from 1 to, so this is not, is a function, and this function for 5 also it is 25, for sorry there is a chance of going this way. For 5 also it is 25, minus 5 also 25, 5 is also given 25, minus 5 is also given, so it cannot be inverse, because for inverse it should be 1 1. So that's why they have removed this portion. You can see this one. So how to change? You change the position of y and x, that's it. If you change the positions of y and x, then it will be, what is this domain? Domain is this one. So it will be of this fashion. So whatever domain, it becomes range for this one, range of this function. So now you range, you can see it should form from minus 1 to infinity. So you cannot give minus, because if you give minus then it will come below. Minus 1 minus root x means it will go below minus 1. So this will not be the image. So what will be the image? The plus 1. So that is root x minus 1. Because whatever domain of original function, that becomes range of the inverse function. You check from here which one is satisfying this range. Now if you come to 5b, if f is a function from R to R defined by this function, then it is 1 1 on 2 1 1, that you have to many 1 1 1 or 1 2. So you can see what is this domain is R, what is this codomain, that is also R. Now let's find its range. So it is 2x is continuous, it is algebraic, it can take any value. Sin x is also continuous. If you put any value of x, the output, so you can put any value of x from here. So domain is anything you can put. Okay, minus infinity to plus infinity, that is the R. Okay, that is also they have given also. And the output can also be any value, because if you put any value here, the output can be any value. Generally what we check these extreme values. One is plus infinity, one is minus infinity, the extreme values of domain, because your domain is from minus infinity to infinity. You put minus infinity, whether you are getting what you get minus infinity, then you will get minus infinity, because sin x, whatever output, it will be between minus 1 to 1, and this will give you minus infinity plus 1 to minus 1, you will always write to minus infinity. And if you give infinity plus 1 minus 1 is always infinity. So your output also can go anywhere. So that means your range is also from minus infinity to infinity, and it is R. So codomain and range become same, so it is onto. So that is for sure, it should be onto. That means B cannot be the answer, and D also cannot be the answer. Next you have to check 1 1. For 1 1 you can take differentiation, for because those who have not gone through differentiation, just excuse. Those who know, you can easily differentiate it. So if you differentiate it, you can see your differentiation is 2 plus cos x. Now cos x range is from minus 1 to 1. So this range will be 1 to 3. That means your differentiation is always positive. That means the function is always increasing. If the function is increasing, that means fx is 1. That's it. Therefore fx is 1 1 and 1 2. So how to check whether it is 1 1 or 2? Generally you can draw the graph if the graph is easy, but it is not so easy to draw the graph. Then you draw a straight line, whether it is cutting at 2 points or not. If it is cutting 2 points, then it is not 1 1. If it is cutting 1 point, then it is 1 1. And another one is you take differentiation, see the differentiation value. If it is always positive, that means it is a strictly increasing function, because its slope is always positive. Differentiation is nothing but slope, because if slope is continuously positive, means it is never coming down. So that's why increasing. If it is increasing function, we have seen it will be always a 1 1. So that's why it is option A, 1 1 1 2. Now to find the range of this one, so one method is, range is not so easy. So what we do, we take inverse of this one. So you change the position of y and x, find the inverse function. because the range of this one will be the domain of the inverse. Range of f becomes domain of inverse. Domain is easy. So if you find inverse function domain, if you calculate the domain of the inverse function, then you will get it. That is another way, but the easiest way is another way which will save some time, which is this one. So you divide this one. So if you divide this one, you can write 1 plus 1. So or you divide, simply divide. So it will be 1 plus 1 by this one. This one will be the remainder. So this is the way. So if you divide 7 by 3, it is 2, 6. How can you write 2 plus 1 by 3? So the same way I have written 1 plus 1 by this one. Now this one you make it perfect square. So if you have to make it perfect square, x plus, so this one half extra and 1 minus will give x square plus 2 into half into x plus half square plus 1 minus half square you will give. So this will give you x plus half whole square, this will give you 3 by 4. So what is the range of this function? If you have a square, then it will be always 0 to infinity. So this is 0 to infinity. If you add 3 by 4, so it is 3 by 4 to infinity. If you inverse it, then I told you if you inverse it, then equality sign changes. So greater than become less than becomes so. So these positions will change. Infinity will come this one, this will come this. 1 by infinity is 0, because you cannot have infinity equal to, so 0 also cannot be possible. 3 by 4, if you inverse it, it will be 4 by 3. So these positions will change because this greater than less than changes if you take inverse. So if you add it once, so it will be 1 to 7 by 3. So you can directly write, if you find one range, then you, by adding this range, you can get the answer. The answer is D. If you like the video, then press the like button and please give your valuable comments in the comment section.